in there. Maybe talk at the break. We'll be there for you about in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say. Let me see. Don't get alarmed. It'll only take a minute. I love language. This is Sarah Hart speaking. I love the way words fit together. I love the way that fiction, like mathematics, can create, play with, and test the limits of imaginary worlds. Great literature and great mathematics satisfy the deep yearning in us for beauty and truth and understanding. As pioneering Russian mathematician Sofia Kovalevskaya wrote, yeah, that's right, you don't know. It is impossible to be a mathematician without being a poet in soul. A poet must see what others do not see, must see more deeply, and mathematicians must do the same. Jody.
Wonderful. Math and language literacy are so important. This is from one of my meditations, and it struck me as something I wanted you all to hear. Awesome as a word became less awesome when the 1970s and 1980s rolled around. People started using the term for everything. Soon advertising used it, and everything from potato chips to mascara were awesome. The word itself, ironically, is awesome. It means to be filled with awe. I don't know about you, but I never met a potato chip I thought was awesome. God, though, you don't need to go to the Grand Canyon, though, to figure that out. You don't need to do anything but go in your backyard and watch ants, the way they work to build. Gaze at any morning sky. See a nurse holding a dying patient's hand hour after hour. Watch a father teach his daughter how to do math or ride a bike, or a mother with a newborn. God is awesome. God's works and joy induce breathtaking and happen every day. Often we forget how kind people are, or how a kid can pick up trash to make the world a better place. All we need to do is stop, breathe, listen, and live in thanks. Awesome.
Thank you, President Jane. I wanted to just make a quick announcement. Today we're going to be launching in the business section of our meeting. We're going to be launching Pores for Community, which is the fundraiser that's coming up in a couple of weeks to benefit the Muskegon Rotary Foundation. The reason I'm up here at this time is we're going to be passing around a contribution box for free will contributions towards that program, help it get kick-started. And then also, if you prefer, we have a QR code sheets in front of you that you can use that. That's really, the benefit of Christy Nagengast, who somehow figured out how to make all that work. So, but thank you very much.
2 opportunities to give in 1 meeting. What a day. Enjoy your lunch. We will convene in 10 minutes. Welcome back. We are ready to convene the meeting by one of our most pleasurable things is introducing our guest. So those people who have guests, please come up so we can meet who you're having fun with today. We'll let Joni go first.
This is Design and Emma. Emma from Austria, Design from Thailand. You've met them before, and they're each going to share just quickly with you what they've been doing.
Hi. Then what has been going on in my life? In the beginning of last month, I got the chance to go to a concert at the Frauenthal Center. It was the Philharmonics? Symphony, sorry. And it was Haydn and Mozart, which are both from Austria. That was an amazing experience. It was beautiful. Really, really fun night. And then 2 weeks ago, I got the amazing opportunity to go to Hawaii with the Belusa travel program. I've met over 60 other Rotary Youth Exchange students from 20 different countries, and I can't even put it in words how amazing this experience was. Then what is going on right now? I am a senior at the North Muskegon High School, and I am in the choir in Nova Voce specifically, and we are practicing for the Pops concert. We have been for the last few months, and it's right around the corner. It is next week, Thursday and Friday evening, the 20th and 21st. So if you have free time, it is amazing, and it's a great show. You should check it out at the Frauenthal Center.
Hi, I'm Design. For me, I'm almost done for everything in my exchange year. So, the first of all, like last week, my school has spring break, so I went to North Carolina with my host family. It's amazing. I went to hiking, and I love hiking. I have seen a lot of view and waterfall. And so me and Emma is our senior in our school. So I have a prom this month. Yeah, I I want to go to prom, and I have like graduation thing. So it's very amazing time.
She has her dress. Oh,
Hello, I'm Tim Arter, and Dimitri Poland and I have a guest today, Michael Poland of Brayburn Wealth Management. Mike and Brayburn Wealth Management are premier sponsors for us for the Porous Portfolio program. So we're grateful to have him and his organization going to be a part of it. So thank you for having him.
Excellent.
My name is Larry Fife, and I'm here with Susan Hookinga. Susan, she's from Muskegon. She moved away after graduating from Michigan State for about 40 years, and she moved back to the Muskegon area about 7 months ago after living in San Diego for all that time. She told me it was too sunny in San Diego, so I told her she would love the winter here. Susan Hookinga.
I'm Don Hutchins, and our guests today are Christy Blackmore from Paws with a Cause, my daughter Catherine, Paws with a Cause, Chewy, and Windsor, and my wife Molly.
I'm Marcia Hovey-Wright. My guest today is Jillian Pasteur, who is the new director for Everyone's Place. This is her second time, and she's all ready to join. She's been through orientation and got the email yesterday, so she's ready to go. You'll see her at induction, I guess, is the next step. So.
Now we're moving on to our program. Donna, you introducing the program.
I'm so glad I just took a bite of cookie. Good afternoon. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our program presenter today. Catherine Hutchins is a Michigan native and lives here in Norton Shores. She was born in Albion, Michigan. Catherine graduated with honors from Quincy High School in Quincy, Illinois. Catherine graduated from Marquette University in Milwaukee with a BA in Writing Intensive English. She also attended Northwestern University and is a certified in project management for professionals. She has completed coursework in Principles and Techniques of Fundraising with the Lilly School of Philanthropy, Indiana University, Bloomington, Indiana. Catherine is a past president of the ORC Orators Toastmaster Club and founder and past president of the Glenwood Sunday Market Junior Board. Catherine worked at Rotary International in Evanston, Illinois, in the foundation side for over 11 years as a supervisor of development coordinator team. Catherine's been with Paws with a Cause in Wayland for over 3.5 years as its annual fund manager. Catherine is here today with Paws colleague Christy Blackmore and dogs Windsor and Chewy. Would you please give a warm welcome, Rotary welcome, to a 4th generation Rotarian and a Paul Harris +1 fellow, Catherine Hutchins.
Well, thank you so much. It's kind of like coming home. It's been a couple of years since I presented to a Rotary Club, but everything seems really familiar. And I am going to say a little bit of inside pool. You are one of the best run clubs I've ever had the privilege of attending. So thank you so much for being excellent. I'm here today to talk about Paws with a Cause, what we like to call Michigan's West Michigan's best kept secret. Let's go to the slides. So our mission at Paws is to enhance the independence and quality of life for people with disabilities through custom trained service dogs. I have 15 slides of really cute dog photos, so I am front loading the dry stuff now. It takes 2 years and $36,000 to breed, raise, custom train, and place a Paws assistance dog. It should also be noted, we give these dogs to our clients with disabilities for free. They are a necessary piece of medical equipment, but they are not covered by insurance. So most of their cost comes from individual donors, and we do heart our donors. We train 4 types of Paws assistance dogs and Paws facility dogs. I'll explain what those are a little bit later. We have placed over 3,300 dogs in our 44-year history, which doesn't sound like a lot until I refer you back up to that top number. We are born and bred in West Michigan with dogs in 32 states. We are a national organization. And the average career of a Paws dog is about 10 years. And during that time, all of our teams are guaranteed lifetime support from Paws. Yep, there we go. So we train 4 types of service dogs. The very first type we started training back in 1979 were hearing dogs. We still do that today. This is Mater and Molly. Mater is a Papillon. We use Papillons because they are about 45% ear for our hearing dogs. And when we say we do lifetime support, Molly had a baby this year. So we went back into her home and trained Mater to hear a baby's cry and to alert Molly when her daughter was crying. We also do seizure response dogs. This is Deshonda and Nike. Nike is tugging on a seizure alert button that Deshonda wears on her jeans. Nike is so smart that he is trained to call the paramedics when she has a seizure and unlock her apartment door. We train general service dogs for a very wide variety of disabilities. We're adding to that list every single year. This is Steve and Woody. Woody is actually Windsor's brother, so you'll meet Windsor in a bit. Chewy and Windsor are going to show you a task we call retrieve, which is something that's very helpful for people like Steve in a wheelchair. People drop things. I drop things all the time, so do you. When you're in a wheelchair, you can't pick it up. And if you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to exit a room, sometimes you have to roll over your $2,000 phone or your necessary eyeglasses. I know a PhD in Rhode Island with a service dog. She says that her dog saved her $2,000 in her first 4 months with that dog because of everything that dog could just pick up off the floor for her. We also do service dogs for kids with autism. This is Serenity with her poodle Bishop, because in addition to having autism, Serenity also has allergies. So we do have our hypoallergenic dogs. And Shani, her mom, is an active service member, because while we are not a veterans organization, we do prioritize applications from active service members, veterans, and their families. Oh, thanks. So this is what we like to call the PAWS team journey. On one side, a puppy is born and starts their path. On the other side, someone decides to take the leap and get a service dog. So our clients apply. It is an intensive, very thick application. When they are selected, they go through a multi-phase interview process so we can understand every part of their lives, from what side of the bed they get up on in the morning, to what kind of work they do, to what their goals are when they have this dog. It is a custom training process tailored for that person. On the dog side, our dogs are born in loving volunteer breeding host homes where they stay for 8 weeks with their mother. Then they move on to our loving foster raiser families for 12 to 18 months. Then they come back to us, we give them their shots, take some x-rays, and then we send those dogs to jail, which I will tell you more about later, but we do work with 5 prisons around Michigan that have a finishing program for us that's really wonderful, really intensive, and the dogs love it. Then they come back to PAWS for what we like to call their graduate school education before they go home with their human. And then they spend 6 months in their human's home with a local PAWS field representative, making sure that that team is set up for a lifetime of success before they get their certification, which is all well and good in the hypothetical. But I want to tell you about my friends, Malachi and Newman. So Malachi has autism. They live in Midland, and this photo was taken a couple of years ago when they first got Newman there. Photo shoots for kids with autism are hard because it's a disruption in routine, it's new people coming over, it's unusual stuff, it's overwhelming, it's chaotic, and you can see in this photo he's not having a great day. But he's also not having a meltdown like he normally would because Newman is there to help him self-soothe. So they worked together for a couple of years, they worked very hard, and eventually his mom, Margie, who is a saint, talked Malachi into going out for 4-H with Newman. Malachi is profoundly autistic and he is nonverbal, but he's a fantastic writer, and he let me read an essay about what it felt like being in the ring with Newman for the first time and how terrifying that was because hundreds of people are looking at him. It's chaotic, there's lots of noise going on in the background, but Newman kept him calm, Newman kept him centered, and they got so good at this that they started winning tons of awards in 4-H, animal science, and animal husbandry. And Malachi was elected club secretary of his local 4-H club. He is still nonverbal, but this kid is a leader now, and he is using his platform to help make sure other kids with disabilities like him are getting access to programs and getting the attention they deserve and they need. They are also so good at what they do that last year, Malachi and Newman took state. They won the top prize in animal husbandry and science last year through 4-H. And if you look at this kid now, and then you look at that picture in the top corner of where he started, he's come so far. We specialize in kids with autism because we have found that it has the most impact if you get an intervention to a kid at an early age. So those are our client dogs. We also do working dogs. The golden retriever, who you can barely see under the pile of children, is Maple. Maple works at a local elementary school, and Maple right now is helping those kids practice their reading skills because it is way less scary to read to a dog than it is another person. And the other photo is Checkers. Now, we do have dogs in local hospitals. We have 2 at Mary Free Bed, but I love this photo, so I'm going to use this one. This is Checkers. Checkers works at Phoenix Children's Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. If any of you have spent time around babies, you've heard of tummy time. This baby is practicing tummy time on top of Checkers because he was not interested in doing that before, but put a dog in the equation and suddenly this is the coolest thing ever. This baby has never left the hospital. He was born in the hospital, he was born sick, he had to have a couple surgeries, and he and Checkers are making sure he's strong enough to eventually go home. We also work with firefighters and arson investigators. So that dog there is hunting down bad guys and figuring out if arson was involved. And this dog here is a trained electronics detection dog. So they paint microchips with a certain sealant. The dogs are trained to sniff that out. This dog cracked an international pedophile ring on his first day. This man had hidden some flash drives in a wall, and this dog came in, found him, and he is not hurting any more kids. So we are a national organization, but we are Michiganders at heart. And I am sure all of you remember where you were when you found out about the Michigan State shooting. We have a number of MSU alumni on our staff. So one of them, Carrie Payson, reached out to a dean at Michigan State. And within a week after the shooting, we had organized a pause caravan. We drove 21 dogs, 19 staff, and 10 vans over to Lansing on the day campus reopened. And we were stationed at 3 of the largest dorms on campus. Christy, I, Chewy, and Windsor all went along. We were in the STEM dorm. And yeah, the kids wanted to talk a little bit about the protests they had just attended. They wanted to talk about their professors and how the professors were handling them coming back to class. But what they really wanted to talk about was the fact that Windsor and Chewy are dating. Because all they wanted was a chance to just be kids and cut love on a dog for a few minutes. And that's what we do at Pause. We help people in a lot of different ways. We are also super involved here in Muskegon. If any of you know Pioneer Resources, you may have met Scooter. Scooter is one of ours. Scooter helps everyone at Pioneer Resources with different things. He helps the kids who are doing autism intervention. He helps the older clients. I am told that some of the older clients were not big fans of dogs when they first started, but Scooter is so handsome and so charming that they are now Scooter's #1 fan club. Additionally, does anyone here know Heidi Strasser, who is the Director of Special Education at Muskegon Heights? All right. So Heidi had a son named Noah, and he had multiple disabilities. He was very sick. So Heidi requested a Pause dog in 2013, and Noah was paired with Wiley, and they were best friends for 3 years until Noah passed. Wiley now lives with some of Heidi's extended family, and Heidi lost touch with Pause for a few years until our 40th anniversary party in 2019, when she came back in and left with one of our breeding papa dogs. Today, when Zoom is not contributing to our IVF program, Heidi and Zoom hang out at Muskegon Heights, and Zoom, once again, is helping children practice reading. Also, you know that prison we have out by Sam's? It's one of the prison programs we work with. To get into our program, you have to be a model prisoner. To stay in our program, you have to be a model prisoner. This is a fantastic program for the dogs and the men involved. The dogs live in the cells with the prisoners, 2 dogs, 2 men to a cell. They get continuous behavior reinforcement, which for these dogs means they just get treats all the darn time. which they're very happy about. They love everybody in the program. Everyone loves them. It's been a great success for us. And it contributes to conflict resolution and lower conflict issues in the prison. So I would like to introduce you to my colleagues, Windsor and Chewy. As I mentioned, yes, they actually are dating. Windsor is 7, Chewy is 3. So Windsor is a chocolate lab and a cougar. You go, girl. Both of them are trained certified assistance dogs, but they're also ambassadors for PAWS. So I'm going to let Christy here demonstrate a few of their skills.
Thank you, Catherine. As Catherine mentioned numerous times, they do love each other, but they are also very treat motivated. So we'll see how it goes today. They might fight over who gets to do what task. So Windsor was trained to help somebody with mobility issues, as was Chewy. So one of the major tasks that we do, like Catherine mentioned, is retrieve. So we do practice with them on a variety of different items. So let's say you drop a credit card. So we're going to see if Chewy, how he does here. Chewy, free. Take it. Bring it. Chewy, take it. Bring it. Hold. Give it. Good boy. So what you can notice there is that he has to wait for the command to take it, because what if something dangerous fell on the floor, like a knife or medicines that they're not supposed to have? So we use the command take it, tell them to hold it, and then say give, and that's when they give the item. So we'll try with Windsor now. This is just a pen. Windsor, take it. Take it. Bring it. Give it. Good girl. Good girl. So we're going to try something, like Catherine was mentioning, sensitive things like glasses. So we're going to see if Chewy destroys my glasses or not. I'm using cheap ones just in case. Chewy, take it. Or Windsor. Bring it. Give it. Good girl. Like I said, they're fighting over treats now. So the glasses are actually intact. She did not ruin them at all. So Chewy was trained to open doors. So this door is a little bit heavy for him, but I'm just gonna demonstrate the command and how he would open it if it was a door that, so you know the handicap buttons, he can open those doors easily. We also make adaptive equipment that we will attach to doors so that the dog can pull that and let somebody in a wheelchair through and then close the door behind them. So let's try this. Chewy, come. Chewy, come. Windsor, stay. Chewy, come. Chewy, touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Good boy. Let's try that again. Chewy, touch it. He's busy eating his treat. Chewy, touch it. Good boy. So again, if that was a door that actually had sensitivity and it would open, that one's a little bit heavy for him. But he can turn on lights. We don't have any lights here to demonstrate, but otherwise I would. Chewy was trained to work with somebody in a wheelchair. If his arm fell down, he was quadriplegic. He's trained to move the arm back. Same thing with the legs, so not only for safety, but for circulation for the individual. And Windsor was actually trained to help somebody take their clothes off. So to remove a jacket or a sweater, to take laundry out of the laundry machine and pull a basket. So like Catherine was saying, they are custom trained to the exact needs of the client. My husband always says if Chewy can actually open the refrigerator, if he could bring him a beer or make him a martini, he'd be the best dog ever. But he's not quite at that point yet. But these are, again, we bring these dogs out into the public to show awareness about what they can do. I'll show you one last item. This is just a big paper clip. And I'm sure like humans, you know, nobody really likes to put metal in their mouth. It's not a good taste. But sometimes if, let's say, a silverware or something drops and the dog has to pick it up, we do train them on the different types of materials. So Chewy, take it. Bring it. Take it. Bring it. Oh God. Take it. Come on. You got it. Yeah, exactly. Take it. Okay, let's try Windsor because this is actually hers. Windsor, take it. Bring it. Bring it. Hold, give. Good girl. So again, these are just some of the tasks that these dogs can do. And that concludes my portion of it. You want me to stay up here? Or? Okay. Sit.
All right, thank you. So I do have a few more slides for you. So these dogs can learn up to 30 different discrete tasks, but as you just saw, they are still dogs. And they do get to play a lot. They played just before they came here, which is why they're a little tired. So what do you do if you meet a PAWS dog in public? Number one, there is a difference between service dogs and emotional support dogs. Service dogs are highly trained, they are credentialed, they are certified. According to the ADA, they can go anywhere a human could go. Emotional support dogs, it's a lot more murky, but if you see somebody in a vest like this, they're probably legit. If you own a business and you are not sure a dog should be there, there are only 2 questions you are allowed to ask, and one of them is not, are you disabled? Because that is rude, and also because it's slightly illegal. You can, however, ask, is that a service dog required because of a disability? And you can ask, what work or task has the dog been trained to perform? So those are polite, those you can definitely ask. And then sometimes you just don't know what to do when you see a working dog in public. So for all of you here today, I want you to think of Julia Roberts. If Julia Roberts rolled into town tomorrow with a film crew and set up at Heritage Point, you would not run up to her while the cameras are rolling and go, Julia, hi, Julia, I love you. It would again be rude. And also she's working. But once she's offset and the cameras are no longer rolling and she's going to Capone's for dinner, oh, fair game. Give her a hug, tell her how much you love her. Julia Roberts. Whenever you approach a dog in public, talk to the person first and then think, if Julia Roberts was here and she was working, could I hug Julia Roberts? I mentioned that we're really big in Muskegon, so very quickly, if you would like to help us out, we have a puppy bubble coming. We are going to need some foster puppy raisers. It's very fun. We have a local club. You meet a lot of fun people. And if you have a high school student who needs some college credit or volunteering hours, we are a great way of racking up those hours. And then when they're done, the dog and the kid go to college. I'm just saying. So thank you so much for having us here. And I'm here to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. I know we've got questions. We've got one over there, one over there.
Hi. Generally, what's the wait time between someone applying for a PAWS dog and actually getting one?
That is a great question. We are working to get our wait list down. It can be, depending on your needs and specifications, anywhere from 1 year to 2.5. And when I say needs and specifications, I mean, if you need a poodle, we only have about 5 of those a year. So sometimes it takes a little longer, but the custom training process does take a while. It's worth it in the end though.
My question is, you said the PAWS was founded in West Michigan. Where specifically?
Well, in our founder's garage, which was near Byron Center. And then our first building was in Byron Center. We are now in the middle of nowhere near Wayland because we expanded and need a lot of room for our campus. We house up to 100 dogs at a time on our campus.
So to be part of the puppy bubble, can you can you have a dog in your home already, or do you have to be home with no dogs?
You can have a dog in your home. We have a volunteer coordinator who handles an in-home interview and inspection. So I could not have had a foster puppy at our home because our Jack Russell, you may have heard stories, is insane. Was insane. So she would have been a bad influence. But if you have a dog who'd be a good influence, we can talk.
Yes, I noticed that you have just certain breeds of dogs, labs and papillon and poodles.
And golden retrievers.
And Goldens, okay. Are they just the smartest, or they just have certain habits, or what?
Ooh, okay. We've got a sharks and
Oh,
jets situation
bad
going
question.
here. So what we have found with those 4 particular breeds of dogs, especially the labs and goldens, is they just really enjoy working. This is a game for them. This is play. So those dogs are incredibly treat motivated. They really enjoy the work. And a really big thing we do at PAWS is we never put a dog in a career that they are not physically, intellectually, or temperamentally suited for. So those dogs we seem to have the highest success rate with.
Is there a certain breed of dog that you recommend that they stay away from? For example, like a pit bull or like a German Shepherd?
Well, Jane here just said Jack Russell, and she's correct, but no. I will say though, one thing that you will hear about with service dogs is they're just incredibly docile and gentle. They are trained to do other things. So if there's an aggressive dog, they won't really know how to respond. You'll be like, oh, you're kind of weird. You're a little intense. So really, they can interact with any dog. But you know, if that dog is just a 10 and they're at a 4, it might not be a good mix.
Just a bit on the difference or thoughts on leader dogs versus service dogs. Do you work with folks with visual issues?
So we do not, because Leader Dogs is awesome and they've got the market cornered on that. But, okay, this stays between us here in the room and online. We're actually best friends with Leader Dogs, and we are currently trying to co-raise a dog for someone who is both blind and has another disability. And so we're trying to create a combo dog for that. So it's still in the testing phases. We can't say it's going to be a permanent thing, but we're close.
Question, do they retire and can they be adopted?
They do retire, and they can be adopted, but typically they stay with their family. So I showed you a picture of Steve and Woody. Steve actually had a dog before Woody. His name was Mo. So when Mo retired, they got Woody, and then Mo showed Woody all the ropes and where the treats were hidden and several bad habits, but it's fine. So yeah, they do usually stay on with the family.
One more question.
So how long is the actual wait list for people wanting dogs?
Wanting a service dog?
Yes.
Between at least 1 year, so what, 18 months? An average of about 18 months. Oh, gosh. So that's changing constantly because we have people coming on, going off. I think we've got about 20, no. On the back of your program, that was printed last summer, we had 52 people on our wait list. And as of right now, we are working to get that down. So I think we have about 35 currently on the wait list, but again, it fluctuates. We get about 400 applications a year. And last year we placed 51 new dogs.
Yes, Christy. And friends. Thank you so much. Wonderful. The Rotary Club will be making a contribution in your name to the Malala Fund as thank you for being with us today. That's okay. And we appreciate you. Okay. Birthdays today. We have 3. Aaron Kuhn on April 13th, Camille Jordan Marks on April 18th, along with Michael Poulin on the 18th. So let's, I was going to make a joke about barking the happy birthday, but someone might take me seriously, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Brave Rotarians, Jenny. I will bear with you. I think you're looking great. Jenny's advised me that it takes a little longer to recover as we advance in age and grace.
First of all, thank you to everyone who participated. We really appreciate your support of the Rotary Foundation. And I hope it added to your enjoyment of the basketball that was just all over the place this year. So, and just a COVID flashback, I bought this for yeast development, when everybody was trying to make bread, so. So we're going to start with a draw from the women's group. So, and Christine Robert was our one who won the tournament, but President Jane will pick our other brave Rotarian winner.
There we go. And the winner is Susan Hokabar.
Oh, congratulations, Susan. I'll take that. Okay, and the guys, Mark Myers was the winner with UConn. All sorts of people I thought had good draws, but it was Mark that came out on top. So, so our other participant.
And that is Steve Olson.
Oh, hey, yay, Steve. Oops, almost took out the guess. And then just a brief note, the district is doing their 50-50 match, for if you're interested in purchasing a Paul Harris Fellow at a half price deal, or perhaps for yourself or for a gift to someone, you can do that. And there'll be details in the RIM. I will get them an announcement, and then you'll have, I can't remember, I'm sorry, the dates right now, but we have some time. So that just was announced, and I hope you'll take advantage if you're interested. Thank you. I'll come back for that.
Okay, and we have today a member spotlight, and I'm just going to let this roll so you'll be surprised at who it is this time.
So my name is Jeff Betzinger, and I joined the Rotary to be with like-minded people who like to give back to the community. From Muskegon, Michigan here. Graduated from East Puffer High School. I am married to Kelly Betzinger. It'll be 22 years this summer. I have two boys, Colton, who is 15 and a sophomore at Reese Puffer, and Eli, who is 13 now and in 7th grade at Reese Puffer. Hobbies, I coach baseball. I'm assistant coach for the Reese Puffer JV baseball team, as well as both of my youngest sons' travel baseball teams. We're a huge sports family. We enjoy going to sporting events, watching sports at home, going out in the yard, playing catch, shooting hoops. My job here, I work at the Lakeshore Museum Center. I am the exhibits and collections director, as well as the archivist. The first thing I'll say about my job, to me, it's not a job. This is a hobby for me. I am a huge history fan, born and raised here in Muskegon, and I started as an intern at the museum in 2012. Continued, or 2011, excuse me, and started to volunteer until I was hired in 2015. And every day it's fun coming in here, learning new things about Muskegon, teaching what I learned to people, working with all these groups that come in here, writing exhibits and helping the research find information they're looking for. I've always volunteered. I've always enjoyed working with people, helping people out. It started off actually probably when I first had my kids. I used to volunteer at school, getting to know people, working with the kids, continue to coach Little League. So I enjoy working, helping people, doing what I can to give back to the community for everything I've ever received from the community.
On a side note, I have a granddaughter who loves to go to the museum, and at one point we were looking at all of the exhibits and talking about the jobs, and I said, you could be a curator. And she said, oh, wow, Grandma, would that mean that I'd have to be really neat? And I said, well, yes. And she said, never mind, never mind. We do have announcements today. Tim and Mary Ann are going to present an announcement. I'm sort of expecting a district guest today, but to talk to us about the Rotary District Conference that will be in Grand Rapids on the 19th and 20th of May. We do have some people going to that conference and invite you to join us. It will be in the RIM. There is a website, and I'm pretty sure we can get a QR code into the RIM so that you can just go from there to the website advertising the conference and see if it's a fit for you.
Well, thank you, Jane. Mary Ann and I are going to give you a brief overview of the Pours for Community. If you would pull it up. Okay, great. And then to the next slide, Mike. Don't you have the controller in front of you, sir? Oh. Okay, so this is the schedule of events for the 7 happy hours that we're going to be holding. You also will have posters on your tables, along with table tents that you can see those same items there. If any of you want to take a poster with you, you feel free to do that and display it. As I mentioned, I won't read them for you, but you can see that we are going to go to 7 different places. How many people in the room attended a happy hour last year? Oh, great. That's a good turnout. We really encourage you to do that. You will be receiving invitations to sign up, and I wanted to just clarify what that is. You'll be receiving Sign Up Genius invites, and I think you might have received one yesterday for Salty Pecker. What we have is we're going to be doing 2 invitations for each of them, one about 10 days ahead of time, another one for about 4 days ahead of time. And we will be using that information that you have only to get an idea as to what we can use for account for the food that we're going to be purchasing. So if it's likely that you're going to come, it's not an obligation, but if you're likely to come, please sign up so that, and if you're going to bring a guest, just like you do for lunch, do a +2 or whatever. It's going to be really helpful for us because, as you can imagine, we have to work with the locations to get the food. Often get a question is, what is a pour and what is this all about? For each of these locations, we've worked out a formula based on what they're most willing to do in terms of, for a given pour, 1 glass, we get $1 for it. And it's generally for a special drink that they've identified, normally one of their most popular drinks. And so we get $1 for that during a participation period, which can run from 2 weeks to a month. And so it only covers, we only get the pours for the special drink. If you're going to be drinking anything else, consider a free will offering in our collection box, or use the QR code. We will have co-hosts there, Rotarians, who are going to be greeting you. One other thing, if you plan to go to the Sociable Bowl, we decided not to go through the process of reserving a bunch of lanes. They're on their website. You can go on there and reserve those lanes yourself, but that's important. We will not have any reserved. They do take, of the 6 lanes, they do take reservations for 4 of the lanes, and they keep another 2 lanes open for the general public. I think, yes, okay. It didn't go down. I hit the wrong button. There we go. We want to honor our sponsors, our premier sponsors. Mike Poland, Braeburn's with us today. The Muskegon Innovation Hub of Grand Valley is also doing that. They will be the headliner organization at their specific happy hour. Braeburn will be at the Social Bowl, and Muskegon Innovation Club is going to be at Pigeon Hill. Let's see. Please, as you see those people, thank them for their participation. And, excuse me, next. And for 3 of the nights, we're having a special group coming in, or people that are going to be gathering. For the Social Bowl on April the 27th, new members are encouraged to attend. The Muskegon JCs are going to be participating as guests on May the 2nd, and Rewind members are going to be hosting the event at Pigeon Hill on May the 4th. So how do we raise funds through this event? And you saw the sponsors that we had that have helped us with the program. The specialty drinks that I mentioned, the contribution boxes, and the QR codes, which are the QR codes are going to be there at the individual events. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Mary Ann. Give her the clicker too. Oops.
So the question always comes up, I think, when we have special events like this. So what are we raising the funds for? Last year, as you know, the title of the event was Pours for Polio, so that was pretty self-evident. So what I want to bring to your attention is the work of the Muskegon Rotary Foundation, the grants that we give, the projects that we support. Because there are a lot, it isn't just one thing. We would like you to remember these things, not all of them, but a few of them that will stick, so that if people say to you, well, what do you do with this money? During the pandemic, I think you'll remember that we had some real issues with food supply. So this club supported 10 food trucks in 2020, 4 in 2021, and 1 in 2022. That's an example of us being able to be at the ready with resources to pitch in and address a community need. Our work in youth leadership development is ongoing. Scholarships, supporting Life Leadership Conference, our youth exchange program, our Interact program in our high schools. The work that we do with enhancing the culture in our community, supporting the installation of musical instruments throughout park systems or the parks in Muskegon, as well as public art. Judy Hayner has talked to us quite a bit. You've seen examples of some of the great public art that has been able to be installed in Muskegon through our support. Global outreach is a big part of what Muskegon has been involved in. Our trips to El Salvador, Honduras, our outreach Rotary International has provided to Ukraine, our membership in WEHOP as we support efforts of that group to provide clean water. So as I said, it's a lot. So those are some of the things that funds raised are gonna go for. And finally, how can you help us promote the event? I have so enjoyed working with Tim on this committee. We just have an awesome committee, but we also need the help of all 239 members in the club. Help us on social media. Go on Facebook, share these events. Use the Sign Up Genius to sign up, bring your friends, invite your neighbors. If you are a new member, try to make a point to come to the Sochi Bowl event on Thursday, the 21st. If you're also in JCs, and I know some of you are, talk it up among your JC co-members and come to the Wonderland event on May 2nd. And finally, you know, these posters on the table, please don't leave them here. Please take them with you, post them in your workplace. If you frequent a place of business around town that you know will post, you know, put it up in a prominent place. We'd appreciate your help with that.
And one final thing, we wanted to recognize our committee members, Mary Ann Gorman, Lisa Medsdorf, Emily Morgenstern, Emma Peterson, Jason Piasecki, Amy Seymour, Ginny Sprague, Dimitri Poland, and Craig Wickander. Great group of people. They've been just tremendous in pushing this forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim and Mary Ann. I know I'm looking forward to April and May. Great times. We now have a raffle, and our raffle master is Eric. Yeah, he promises under threat of my brand new gavel. Oh, yay! Yeah, DJ. Excellent. Our program next week will be given to us by one of our own, Rob Taylor, and it is the Muskegon County Biking Coalition. Rob, will you be riding your bike to the meeting for the occasion? I think we ought to find some people to join him. So we are about to adjourn, and we will do that by rising and saying our four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?